and down, and you see what has happened thus far in the Taipei pool. Russia taking out the Netherlands 15-donut in the opening set, then 16-14 and 15-2. Korea, meanwhile, you just saw it on ESPN, 4-4-4, a crushing job on the USA. And the woes for the USA continuing. Russia took them out in straight sets. That was earlier in the Taipei pool. And Korea handing the Netherlands a straight set defeat. So thus far in the Taipei pool, this is the way it shapes up. Russia and Korea coming into this match today, both undefeated at 2-0, and they have already won a pool. Netherlands finishing up at 1-2, and the USA in the middle of a huge rebuilding phase. They are 0-3, still looking for their first win. They'll try and get it in the next pool in Gifu, Japan. So today on ESPN, Korea and Russia, that is your match. Both teams undefeated. The winner of this will take the Taipei pool and would be a virtual lock for the finals in Kobe. I'm Sean Farquhar along with Chuck Schreiner. And Chuck, taking a look at this lineup, two big outside hitters for the Russians, Elena Godina and Yevgenia Artemanova.
Yeah, both these girls intimidating at the net. Godina loves to hit from that right side or left side. Artemanova can do the same thing. Back to Tina, great in the center. And the center, Grachiva. What a team this is, Sean. Full of power, full of accuracy. They block well, and a lot of people don't realize they're also very good diggers of the ball, too. Serving-wise, well, better than some of the teams we've seen. So look for a very powerful Russian team today.
This is not a team that makes a lot of mistakes. They are well coached by Nikolai Karpol. For the Korean squad, Kim Nam-soon is the captain, the steadying force in the middle. But Chung Sun-hee and Chang So-yeon, they make a very powerful outside hitting pair.
Yeah, Chung and Chang probably the cream of the crop of this team. But can they mix it up with the Russians today?
Kang Hee-mi, number 3. She is the top-ranked setter in the Grand Prix thus far in the tournament, and she really quarterbacks the Korean offense.
Yeah, she's there. She can swing left or right. She's got a beautiful back set on her. Short set, watching the Koreans. They were very successful against the Americans yesterday.
Kim Hyung-sil is the Korean coach, and he has got his squad at 5-0 as we are underway. Final match of the Taipei pool. The winner of this stays undefeated in the Grand Prix. Quick side out is worked by the Russians. That was the setter, Kang Hee-mi, with that opening serve.
If you watch the Russians, they will guard that net. They stay very, very close. From time to time, they get the net calls on them. Koreans going to have to use that quick serve very effectively to be effective against them tonight.
Chang So-yeon rejected by Artemanova. 190 centimeters. She does not have to go up that far to reject the effort of Chang.
And that's the thing that the Koreans are going to have to be worried about right from the get-go.
Chung Si-hee. I think that was touched by a Russian.
I think you're right.
Klaus Fezer is the referee today. He's from Germany.
In the background, you can already hear Karpol.
Very vocal coach, two-time FIVB Coach of the Year back in 1989 and 1991. Gracheva setting it back. That was back to Tina, who finished it off for Russia.
And that's what the Russians love to do. They like to crowd that net, get up, as we see right here. Boom, right in between the blockers because they're so high above them.
Park Soo-jung with the touch shot. Now it's Russia from behind the attack line. Korea digging very well here to start off. That's Kim Nam-soon. And she hesitated for just a moment, waiting for Artemanova to begin her descent.
That's right. They're checking the timing of the Russian girls, making sure that before they hit the ball, they've already completed their leaps and are on the way down. Smart play.
So Chung serves right in the middle of the court. And there, Korea read the short set and spike. They're going to try and take away that weapon from the Russians.
That's right. They'd also like to take away that middle as we look at it again, and that's where she tried to come. She tried to come from left to right. There was a series of blockers there waiting for her.
A little dummying job. They go over for Artemanova on the right side, and she nails it.
Yeah, Godina that time. Here we go. Little fake. Dummy towards the middle, sliding the blockers over. Not enough. Godina finishes them off.
Finishing that shot off, Park Soo-jung. She can come up with a clutch spike when needed.
A lot of times it's not the height of the spikers and the blockers, it's timing, and the Korean girls are masters at this.
Again, Russia tight at the net. A diving save from Chong So-yeon, and then Korea able to convert that. Hustling play from them.
Russia backing up just a little bit. They thought they had the point one. Ball did not touch the floor, still in play. Prix able to take the point.
Go over for Artemanova. A huge hammer shot.
Oh, you can hear that all the way up here, Sean, like a rifle shot.
So a side out. Batuktina on the spike serve. Korea has difficulty handling it, and they send that long.
Another tactic that the Koreans would be well to try and employ is maybe try to spike, take a little bit off that spike and spike from a little bit further away on the net.
Side out on the miss hit from Batuktina. So 2-all the score here in the opening set.
Batuktina not getting the sort of press that Godina and Artemanova get, but she's very important to this team, especially the net when she's blocking.
A touch shot when the spike wasn't there, so a free ball for the Koreans. Kim Nam-soon from way behind the attack line. Joust at the net, and then Chong touching a ball she perhaps should have left alone.
Yeah, she should have left it alone. It was on its way out, but just goes to show you how versatile these Russian girls are. Korea did employ that from behind the attack line type of spike. Russia able to return it.
And Chechenko that time able to just tip the ball down. That was an errant set from the Koreans that drifted over to Russia's side. So a couple of easy points here for Russia. Morozova on the serve. Quick set. Russia read that very well. Both teams picking up the quick set from the opponent. And a reverse set. They had Artemanova dummying. This is great action now in Korea. Quickly rebounding, making the transition from defense to offense.
Very, very quick on that, and great lateral movement by the Korean girls from left to right.
Kim Hyung-sil. I wonder if at the start of this Grand Prix, he could have ever imagined his team would get to 5-0. Pushing it over for Artemanova. Korea thus far unable to defend the spike of Evgenia Artemanova.
Just incredible power as we look at it again. Up she goes. Look at her cock that arm. Straight over the top delivery. Burying it.
22 years of age. One of the taller players there, 190 centimeters. And look at the extension on the spike.
307. Hand block at 300.
Just a free one. Kong sets it over for Chung. Beating the Russians on the block.
Korea would be well advised to stay away from the middle of that as we look at it again. Chung finding the little opening there. Not much there, but she takes advantage of what she has. That's what makes her great.
Artemanova wasn't in position, so it's Godina. And going wide, Godina left that alone.
Trying to avoid the blockers on that side, avoided them too much, swung it way to the right.
Tatiana Manchova serves. Again, Chung down the left side. She doesn't have great height, not the most velocity, but she has got speed in abundance.
That's right, especially when she's in the air. She's one of these girls that's able to turn her hand on a fraction's notice, like she did there.
Pushing it over for Godina down the left side. Korea in position on the dig. Now Chung, and she misses wide. Artemanova was taking a long look at that ball before lifting the hands back.
Yeah, she didn't miss by much. She did the right thing. She found the Russian blockers a little bit too far to the left, and there was an opening, but she couldn't hit it.
A quick set back into the middle. Kim Nam-soon, the Korean captain.
Mixing it up real well that time, Soon. Getting the great little back set. Sliding to the right. Little grimace on the face of Park Soo-jung.
She came down the wrong side of her foot. And that is an ace. Russia electing to leave that alone, so that'll be a point for the Koreans.
Smart strategy by Chung that time, keeping it deep, and that's what you're going to have to do. You want to keep them off the net as much as possible.
Substitution into the game, Marina Penkova, 178 centimeters. She dummies for Godina, but Korea into position, and then they turn it around. Park Soo-jung shaking off the sore ankle. and she pushes one past the blocking.
Still not feeling well. I think she got top of the net that time, and it messed up the timing of the Russian girls at the net.
Menchova sits down Olga Morozova into the game, number 17 for Russia. Korea 1 point away from the automatic timeout. Godina gets the side out.
She does that quite effectively. She'll go up, and it doesn't matter how many blockers are there, she'll go ahead and hit it right into their hands, knowing with the velocity of her hit that you take the ball out.
Korea electing to let that go. Russia caught unaware. But Godina really a mirror image of Artemanova on the other side. They're almost like bookends.
Yes, they are. Good example there, Sean.
Kim Nam-soon taking a seat. Han In-young into the game. Good defensive player, Han.
You see the strategy of these Korean girls, trying to keep everything just as deep as they can. Pull the Russian girls a little bit off the net, making sure that that set has to be perfect.
Good looking set that time from Kong. She works it with Jung. Jung takes it on the inside out reverse angle.
Yeah, great angle here that we're going to get to see. Wow, right around those blockers. Tight angle there.
So Jung will serve. She goes over to the left-hand side. And that drops. So Korea have themselves their 5th point, and they lead as we take a timeout. Taipei, last match of the Taipei pool in our continuing coverage, the Women's World Volleyball Grand Prix. There's your scoreline early on. Korea on top 5-3. Tremendous amount at stake in this match. Both teams undefeated. The winner of this takes the Taipei pool. And Chuck Schreiner, the winner of this, would remain undefeated and really would be in an excellent position. They'd put a stranglehold on a playoff spot in Kobe.
Oh, without a doubt. And, you know, it's really surprising Korea jumping off and playing even Steven with the Russians. As a matter of fact, they got a little bit of the edge here as we listen to Karpol admonishes troops in the background there. But they're doing the right things. They're mixing up everything. That short set they're not using all the time. I think Russia came out expecting them to come right down the middle and utilize that as we look at Yoko Zetterlund from the USA there, studying composure. But
the USA having one more pool in Gifu, Japan. They will face the Russians. But it's been a tough 97 Grand Prix. Yoko Zetterlund, the lone veteran left over from the USA's Olympic squad in 1996. Some fresh faces in the USA, an inexperienced team, and they are getting their comeuppance here in the Grand Prix.
They sure are. And Artemanova that time, as we look to the left, just simply pounding it.
And as good as Artemanova and Godina have been, thus far Korea has really beaten Russia to the spike. They've got good team speed and they've utilized it.
What you have to be impressed with Korea is when they get up in the air, they are able to read the blockers. And here we watch this. They are able to read the blockers and able to miss-hit balls off the left and right side.
Godina, she was turned away at the door from Jung. That's a mismatch, really, but Jung got upstairs.
All timing, all timing. She waits till Godina gets up before she makes her jump, so that they're just about even when they're up in the air.
Artemanova, and she pulls up on the touch.
That's what Russia's going to have to do. They're going to have to mix up everything. They're finding this out early, which is good, a good sign for them. Some of the teams that have played Korea have just tried to overrun them with not much success.
Pushing it over for Chung, and she goes past 1, 2, 3 Russian blockers. Chung showing no fear.
No, she's not afraid of these Russian girls. As we watch this again, watch her go up, misdirects. Blockers think she's coming right at him, and she swerves it around to the left. Very intelligent play by Chung.
Kim Nam-soon, after a brief spell on the bench, back into the game. Once again, over 4, and that's Godina now on the left side. They pushed it up quickly to Chung, but then Russia clamped down on the block, and I don't think they're going to let Chung do the same thing twice in a row. She's going to have to mix it up.
That's right. They brought in Belikova to tighten up that front line there. Very effective.
A quick set, and Kim Nam-soon splitting 2 Russian blockers. Number 1, Yu-Yeon Kyung. She comes out, so Kim going to the substitutions early. Park Soo-jung back into the game just before the break. She was shaken up, landing improperly on one foot. Godina in position. Oh, that was a bullet.
Well, that's twice that's happened. Watch this. Left side again. Godina looking straight for that right side. A concentration on her face.
I think some Korean women are going to have a volleyball tattoo on their front side by the time this is over.
I think their name's Mikasa.
Morozova in the middle.
Morozova on the short set here. Time to perfection.
That ball caught a little net. So Russia has earned 1 point. They've closed to within 1. That's parked. And the errant spike, I think she took that a little too late.
Yeah, she tried to hit it over the blocking and catch that back line. She missed it by a few centimeters.
Belikova with the serve. Ooh, that might have drifted out had it not been touched. So now Russia sets up on the free one. That's touched by a Korean blocker. And as good as Godina is, Russia has the luxury of going the other way, sending a shot back to Tina's way.
Back to Tina going right to left that time.
Kim Nam-soon turned away by Morozova, number 2.
Now see what's happening now, Sean, is Korea's getting sucked into the net. They need to stay off the net, stay back behind that attack line, and start their attacks from there. If they get up tight to the net, they're going to lose it because of the leaping ability of the Russians.
4 points in a row now for the Russians, who are on top 7-5. Chung, and that was touched by Godina with a ball that may have been heading out.
I think it was, and Chung has not, she's played a perfect game so far, perfect set.
Nice little 4-point run, though, for Russia to assume control of set 1. Godina on the right side. She looks to be more comfortable attacking from the left wing. A little touch job at the net. Good heads-up play from Park Soo-jung. She saw that ball was going to clear the net.
That's right. She also saw number 2, Morozova, standing away from the net, and that's when the Koreans can be so dangerous. You give them a little bit of space between the net and the body, and they can put it in between.
The quick set. Russia, a play that was easily read, but Korea could do nothing about it.
Russia is so dangerous as we watch it again, that quick set. They can bring Morozova, and they've got Godina over to the left. They've got Artemanova to the right, or vice versa. They can mix those up, too. There's just no weakness.
Jung went down the left side. Godina was being pulled out of position. She was heading up towards the attack line. Had to pull up short. Set. And they go back to Tina once again. So now Russia with 3 big spikers now. Look at that. All 6 Russian women within perhaps half a meter of the attack line. No one in the backcourt.
No, nobody there. They're all wanting a piece of the action, which is good in a way, but when you're playing a smart, savvy team like Korea, you're going to have to keep somebody back because they always find a way to beat you.
Artemanova from the wing. Korea digs that out very well. And they get it past the blocking. And I think now they're starting to read the spiking from Artemanova.
Yeah, they're reading it, and also they're reading the blocking, Sean. They're able to catch these Russian girls standing back just a little bit from the net, which means that the Russians are starting to give respect to the Korean girls, which is smart.
And a little turnaround. We saw Yoko Zetterlund use that shot against the Koreans.
And one of the few bright spots for the USA was Zetterlund in that particular shot. Just the same thing that she did then.
That ball gets over to Russia's side. They put it back. Now Jung, she had nowhere to go on the spike. It's Artemanova. Oh, beautiful digging from Korea to keep this going. And can they get a spike? No, they go touch shot. It's going to be Artemanova again, pulling it up. Oh, Chung hustling, reverse set. Excellent rally now. Russia once again of Jenny Artemanova, and that's touched by the Korean blocking. Best point of the match thus far.
By far, and we've got to admire the grit of the Korean girls that time, digging everything up that was thrown at them. Godina trying, not getting any satisfaction. They're trying the dinks, they're trying everything, but Korea's a tough nut to crack.
Kumin Jung, the 23-year-old, plays for Hanil Synthetic Fiber in the Korean League.
It's my favorite team, Sean.
182 centimeters. And a little touch shot. So turnabout is fair play. Korea running a little trick play against the Russians.
Anything they can do to upset the timing of the Russian girls, they'll do it.
Artemanova almost from the bleachers. That she was almost over by the signboards, ready to take that shot. She goes into the net.
Well, furious with herself that time. She lost her concentration. I think she was looking too far right. She started to go down the left sideline, saw an opening, but it was too late to change her mind.
Tight first set, as the score indicates. Artemanova with the spike not there goes to the dink shot, and then Korea, the unforced error. But for the most part, it's been a high-quality first set.
Both teams living up to their billing as undefeated. Artemanova on that last one, what the Russians are doing is they're finding some space there. They're finding space because the Korean girls are dropping back and only leaving a couple at the net. They're going to rely on their digs to get the ball in the front court. There's space there for Russia.
That ball just catching the net. And that's a good vantage point. Oftentimes when we see these women blow a reception on the television screen, very deceiving. It looks like that ball coming straight in. Actually, there's a lot of drift on it.
Yeah, a lot of weaving. These girls probably practice their serves an hour a day. Things you can do, have it hit your knuckles, hit it with various fingers, make it do different things, similar to a baseball.
Kang with the shot over to the right-hand side, and Chung goes off the net.
The Russian girls crowded her that time. She really didn't have advantage. Couldn't see anything beyond the blockers.
Kang forced to bump. Chung, nothing there on the spike. She tries to keep it alive, but Russia swarming the net. So a topsy-turvy first set. More from the Municipal Stadium after this. In Taipei, Russia on top 10-8. Korea started off this set well, leading it 4-1. But since then, mostly Russia. They push it over for Godina. Korea keeps it going. That's Kong getting it up for Chung. Playing it off the net. Godina Wing for Artemanova. And a shot into the backcourt. That counts.
Interesting blocking strategy that time by the Russians. If you, prior to this, there we have Artemanova coming straight down the middle. Russian girls not even offering any resistance at the net that time. Content to let the Korean girls spike it into the backcourt so they could work it up to the front again. Nice play by Russia.
Chung So-yeon, top scorer in the Grand Prix.
Well,
Godina now starting to settle in on that left side.
Godina and Artemanova, you're right, they are bookends.
Anastasia Belikova serving for Russia. That's Kim Nam-soon, blocked by Godina, but she couldn't get it back inside the court. Smart play from Kim Nam-soon.
Yeah, she moved it around her left hand, hit the outside part of it, able to make it swing wide.
The set goes. Godina not really in position, but almost flat-footed. She nails a shot.
She doesn't have to get up too high at 190. Able to hit that cross court.
Very lanky player, Elena Godina. 19 years of age. She's got a lot of top-level volleyball ahead of her career.
And the off-speed play again by Park. Again, the Russians not offering much in the way of blocking. There we go. We had one girl up.
It was great dummying on the part of Kim Nam-soon. They go the other way, and that looked like it just caught the corner. Back to Tina. So she rotates herself into the offense.
Well, that's really thread the needle that time. Back set, coming across over the block. Instant kill.
Back to the action. Shot played by Kumin Jung. Korea sets up a second time. Park Soo-jung turned away by Russia.
Yeah, she looked up. I don't think she really had good vision on that one. She was looking at the setter. She didn't really sure if she was going to get the ball. She didn't know. Ball came up. She turned her head, and two mountains, so to speak, in front of her.
So a timeout is called by Kim Hyung-sil as Russia now on top by 4.
Well, we can't hear Karpo in the background, so things must be hunky-dory in Moscow.
Korea over the last few points have looked a little confused on defense.
Now, Karpo does seem to be a little bit upset about the blocking, those last points that Korea was able to get. Probably complained about the lack of blocking at the net.
Still very much anyone's set here. Korea down by 4. We've seen them come back. They survived a tough 5-setter against the Netherlands. That was early on.
Well, the service error that time.
So this is Park Soo-jung serving. Korea down by 4. Push it over for Artemanova. Korea almost able to keep that going. The dig was in place, but the ball just too much heat on it.
Get the sense that Korea really can't plan anything offensively until they dig a ball out, because every time the ball is coming at them. So there can't be 4 girls in the backcourt.
Koo Min-jung with a huge hit, but Russia responds well. And Artemanova, you can see her angling her body. She wanted to take it down the length of the net.
Yeah, the shades of Cuba right there. That's what Cuba does so well. Artemanova doing the same thing, finding that tough angle.
Looking a lot like the Cuban hitter, Mariah Luis, who's become more and more effective as the Grand Prix has rolled on. And as soon as she served that, the ball sailing out, Morozova knew it. Korea reading the dump shot on the second hit. Gracheva now for Artemanova. Korea gets into position. Quick set. That's still going, but Russia works the side out again. They'll get the serve back. They're at 13-8, 2 points away from closing out the first set.
Great side out play by Gracheva there. She's 24 years old, only 1.8 meters tall. She's controlling that front line for Russia.
Good looking spike serve from Artemanova. Played off the net. I think it was Morozova who fell underneath the net onto the Korean side, and that's a no-no. Fezer on top of it.
And she stayed down for a little bit, worried about a little twisted ankle there.
Pushing it over for Godina, who's rotated into the left. Oh, boy, straight up and down from Godina.
Yeah, spinning Koo Min-jung around that time. Watch this. Left side again. They're camped out there. Godina hitting down. We don't get to see the end of it. But just 180 degrees, Koo Min-jung turned around on that one.
And then Chung missing on the spike. She loves to go down that left-hand side. So now Russia with a set point at 14-8, and they miss. Gutsy play from Park Soo-jung, leaving that serve with Korea down by 6.
Very close, very close. Tough to leave that one.
Chung So-yeon, a deep serve. Quick set, and that time Godina dummied for Batuktina.
One thing I like about Godina, she's not afraid, or doesn't have her ego in it to the point where she's not afraid to take something off of her hits. Anything to mess up the timing of the blockers.
Kim Nam-soon dumps one back into the middle, foiling Artemanova at the net, so Korea with another life.
And they'll do that anytime Russia starts crowding the net.
Gracheva, that's a reverse set for Godina, now operating on the right. She nails one into the middle.
It's not her favorite position, but Russia having a whole lot of success going cross court all the first set.
Second set point now for the Russians. Godina from behind the attack line catches a little net. So Godina gets lucky, but Russia take the first set 15-8. The spiking now, pouring it on from the Russian side. More from Taipei after this. Women's World Volleyball Grand Prix 1997, last match of the Taipei pool. Russia have themselves a 1-set lead. They built it on a 15-8 count against the Koreans. And in the latter stages of that first set, Chuck Schreiner, the spiking for Russia They have really turned it on. Godina down the left side, but she missed there. She and Artemanova have dealt and dealt again from the wings.
Yeah, and it's no surprise to the Korean girls. It's just very tough to hang in there. We were mentioning during the break that the Koreans are looking flat-footed whenever there's a spike coming their way. Back on their heels a little bit because the ball is coming at them at such a rapid speed. Here we go. We watch this from the left side again. Chung getting around that blocker.
Once again, the captain, Kim Nam-soon, offering herself up as a decoy. But Godina, now she finds the mark back into the middle.
Yeah, she'd rather deal from the middle on that left-hand side, but of course you got Artemanova there too. So they have to share the spoils, so to speak.
Chung swung into position. There was no set, so a free ball. And Korea pays the price. Artemanova, and she had loads of time, and she loaded up from behind the attack line.
Well, she really dealt on Kang Hee knee that time. Took her down to one knee.
That's Chung, and she rotates herself into position. Chung can really strike from any part of the court.
And especially that left side, she is deadly. I'll tell you, she's the only one that's showing no fear against these Russian girls. She's hanging in there with them.
And Yoko Zetterlund, I'm sure she's not looking forward to the prospect of facing Russia in the Gifu pool.
Straight down the middle of the court. What's happening is the Korean girls are noticing that a lot of things are coming cross court, so naturally they shift their players over. But then what happens? The Russians go straight down the middle.
The bump from Kong up for Jung, and Jung gets it done. She's like a mini version of Chung Si-hee with her great speed, getting up and beating the blocking from Russia.
Yeah, she's great vision too that time to get around the blocking.
That was blocked, and Russia is saying that ball touched Jung on the back of the head before heading out, and I'd have to agree with them.
And I would too. I don't know if the referee saw it though. And giving it to Russia. And I think that's some sportsmanship we just saw by Korea. She goes, yeah, it did hit me. A little acknowledgement by the referee.
So Russia will get the ball back. And Jung will sit down. She's had a rough couple of points. Koo-min Jung into the game for her. So Korea serving with a 3-0 lead here in the set 2. Koo-min Jung gets it by the Russian blocking.
Little trick play that time, hiding behind the #1 spiker that time, Koo-min Jung. Ball goes up in the air. Lead hitter gets out of the way. Koo-min Jung steps up and hits.
And then Kim Nam-soon wastes that effort by going long on the serve. She's back to Tina. Back to Tina. Spike serve. It looked like she pulled up short on it.
Grazing the net.
Park goes long, so some chippy play here from both teams.
Yeah, trying to be too cute, trying to keep the ball deep against Russia.
The dummying job, and they set up for Koo-min Jung. Great player off the bench. He can come in and give this Korean squad a lift.
And I like the way she moved laterally that time. See her? Cutting behind the setter, getting the hit. Actually cutting from behind the attack line, going left to right.
And she serves a floater just past the attack line. Korea quick to get up on the block. Artemanova with a touch shot. That was a poor set from Gracheva. And then Chung So-yeon. The spike's not there, so just a little touch shot off the fingertips.
Yeah, she realized that she'd drawn 4 of the 6 Russian women up to the net, and the other 2 were way back in the backcourt, so that left a lot of real estate for Rent, and they slapped down the lease. Again, cross-court stuff by, that time, Morozova, #2, getting the ball up to Artemanova, who puts it away.
Artemanova will serve. The big spike serve. Reverse that from Gracheva, and then Godina. One option open, and she took it. Godina with the touch shot. We'll take a break. Back with Russia on top, 5-1. Of WVGP pool winners here. Russia, the winner of the Macau pool. Korea struck pay dirt in Suwon on their native soil. So the winner of this would be a two-time pool winner in the 97 World Volleyball Grand Prix. That's Chung Si-hee, rejected, but again, Russia can't keep the ball inside the court.
Artemanova that time just launching herself behind that attack line, almost going parallel. She was up so high, she came down on the set before it actually started to lose height.
Chung So-yeon, chip serve, just over the attack line. Godina, but the digging for Korea, they have stepped it up. They knew they were going to face a hard-hitting Russian lineup. This is Artemanova, little deception. Korea couldn't keep it alive, but Artemanova a few times now, she's pulled up and hit the touch shot for a point.
That's a smart player that does that, because what it does is it forces the Korean team to give you space. And that's all she's looking for on the court, is space. She's not too interested if, you know, she's hitting her cannons at 150 miles an hour or dinking, as long as she gets the point.
Chung was over on the left, but they go for Chung So-yeon, who's been quiet thus far in the match. Not so quiet. That's Morozova.
Well, Morozova, a forgotten person. Her, and we get a chance to look at back to Tina there. They also can hit.
Gracheva, the setter, serves, and a ball that drifts back to the middle, and Anastasia Belikova is there to slap it down.
Double-handed hit that time.
I don't think Belikova can believe her luck. And now we'll get a timeout. Korea has fallen behind big time here.
Well, Belikova also 1.9 meters tall. Little sidelight to this, all the Russian players in this game playing for the club team Orla Choka. So they've probably played with each other for a long time. The average age, as we look at, we have number 3, Pankova, 34 years of age, so a very experienced Russian team. A lot of them in their mid to late 20s, but they've got a good mix of rookies too. Number 11, we haven't seen her yet, but Tuchukhanova, 17 years old.
And there's a shot of Valentina Ogienko, the assistant coach. She was a player on the 1996 team that visited both the WVGP and the Summer Olympics in Atlanta. Russia really hasn't been tested thus far in the Grand Prix. They've only dropped one set. That was to China way back in the Macau pool, but they haven't faced a tough match.
Well, they haven't played Cuba yet, but a lot of these Asian teams are tough. I mean, they're known worldwide as teams that can negate any sort of power, but Russia's just steamrolling through all of them.
Yu Young Kyung, she's got a big spike when she can use it. Godina down the left, and the line judge calling that in. Korea was saying no, it went wide. Line judge doesn't agree with them.
Well, when we slow it up, maybe we can see it, but I was just about to say, Sean, how can you tell? Coming so fast.
Park Soo-jung rotated from the middle, but Russia read that beautifully. They knew that Korea was going to go to the right.
That's right. Smart play by Russia. And Jung just sort of smiling and shaking her head. What do you do? Korea's still trying to sort out their own game and trying to find a weakness in Russia, and they have yet to find one.
Kim Nam-soon finds a little hole in the middle. So they'll get it back. Down by 7 here. Can't allow Russia to get out too far too early. They have shown a capacity to bury teams. Remember, they had a 15-0 count against the Netherlands.
Well, Russia employing now what amounts to a 4-hitter as we watch a single setter. They're all going to, whoever receives the serve is going to aim at number 12 there, Gracheva, and she's going to pick out who she wants to set it to.
Another service ace. I believe that's the second today for Chung Si-hee. So Russia having some problems picking up the serve of Chung. And there's another one, 2 in a row. And I'm sure that's going to get Karpol animated.
We can hear him. There he goes.
The mild-mannered, bookish Nikolai Karpol.
And the crowd loves him.
Kang, and she really wasn't able to get much of a set on it, was Kang Hee-mi.
Well, that time drew back to Tina to the net. She raised her hand acknowledging.
And Korea fortunate there because they were in the middle of a broken play. So that's 4 straight points the Koreans have rattled off against Russia. Godina from behind see her pull up for just a second. The set was off the mark, but she made the adjustment and got past Kumin Jung.
That's right. Naval, I think what she did is just aimed it into the bodies of it. She gets up so high, aimed it into the bodies of the Korean girls and went up the block.
Pushing it over for Artemanova. And it was almost like the Korean blocking wasn't there. Look at this.
Going right, left this time. Artemanova bearing the ball cross court.
Kang for Park. It's a free ball. No one was there for the set from Russia. I'm not sure what Gracheva was doing. Godina now must scramble. Back to Tina plays the ball.
Good chasing by Russia.
But Russia totally out of position. One of the few times today they've had a defensive lapse.
Yeah, they need things to be in order for them to be effective. They need those two big girls to be on the wings, fill in the middle there with back to Tina.
A couple of subs now on court for the Koreans. Han In-young, number 17, along with Kumin Jung.
Well, Han In-young was pretty impressive the other day. Left-hander. Saw her against the USA.
Artemanova off the net. And she's saying Korea got a touch on it, but no call from Klaus Bezer.
Right in front of the net judge, so
Han will serve on the side out. Artemanova puts an end to that. She goes right back, and if it's not open the left-hand side, she's happy to get the kill inside out.
And here she comes up, boom, straight overhand that time, slide angle right.
Kong, and that was for Kumin Jung, rejected. Artemanova, a force on the left-hand side. Russia in control of set 2. Back in a moment. Russia already has the 1-set lead as we return to the Municipal Stadium in Taipei. That's Kumin Jung on the left. It's been pretty good off the bench today for Korea.
Yeah, she has. She's come in and given the added spark that Korea needs. The problem is they need a couple more. Besides Chung, they really don't have any big offensive weapons.
That's Park Soo-jung on the serve for Korea. This will be Artemanova again. Korea able to get the hand on it, and although it didn't work that time, often today they've been able to nullify the weapon of Artemanova.
Yeah, Artemanova seen that, and then instead going cross court like she used to do, she went down the left-hand side.
Tricky serve from Morozova right on the line, and Chung forced to play that late. She was hoping it would go outside. No such luck.
Morozova about their best server.
And there's a touch. That was Godina who put the hand on it, and it's exactly the time Korea need a stop. They're down 6-11, and really they can't afford to see Russia go out in front anymore. We get a little close-up on Kumin Jung. They're mostly playing off the bench for the Korean squad. That's Chung, so making a point for the Koreans, now within 4.
Yeah, having some success down that left-hand side there, mistiming the blockers as they go up. Watch for Russia to make a switch there. They'll bring another blocker over and rotate the other one over to the right.
Well, that is a very deep ball from Artemanova, and you have to be a confident spiker to hit that shot.
Cool and calm as she goes up here, searches for the target, goes right over the top.
So let's see if Korea can get the defensive stop. Chang So-young, the set and spike, and Korea really has gotten away from that play over the last set and a half.
Yeah, they're playing so defensively, just trying to dig balls back and get some sort of a spike. And that time they used the short set. A lot of success. Maybe they'll go back to that.
Korea not fooled by the second hit dump. And nailing it, Han In-young. How about that? And she was playing well off the net.
Yeah, well off the net, and then going in between the blockers, hitting them low, hitting the blockers. And that's sometimes a problem. These Russian blockers get so high, it's an inviting target. You don't have to necessarily hit over the top of them. If you can hit into them, then they can't get it over at you.
You see Menchova back into the game for Russia. One-handed set from Menchova. And playing very tight to the net, Godina was able to reach over and just knock a ball down.
And that's what Russia wants to do. They want to readjust, go back to the way they were, stay tight at the net. Don't give a target.
Menchova right down the left side. Look at Chung come into position. Russia didn't read that. Chung came over late, but she was flying.
Yeah, smacking the hands of the Russian girls there. Unlucky not to get it back on that side, but they, in any case, they would have been out of position. Good point for Korea.
Godina, but again, Russia puts the hand on it. Korea, rather, puts the hand on it, keeps it alive, and Russia not able to get under it on the dig, but great hustle. And this is what Korea has been able to do throughout the Grand Prix. They go 6 women deep. It's a total team attack.
Yeah. They'll switch up those 6 women, too. In other words, Chung doesn't necessarily have to be at the net all the time. Russia's looking for her to come up. She stays back, and somebody else slides in to take her place.
Godina leveling it for the kill. And that halts a good run for Korea, have pulled within 2 here in the second set. Quick set, but Russia picks it up. That'll be Artemanova. Risky shot from that far behind the attack line, but she's got the speed and power.
Yeah, she was just looking to get any sort of a touch to stop the funk that Russia's going through right now. She gets the side out.
And In Young, who's had a good second set, sits down. Taking a seat for the captain, Kim Nam-soon. That was a poor reception of serve. Forced Korea to come out of their offensive alignment.
Well, everything's messed up now. Everything's mixed up, but Korea gets the touch.
That was Park Soo-jung who just poked it through. I'm not sure if she's being called for a touch on the net. Ooh, look at that. The right hand right on the tape.
She got it.
Kang Hee-mi will take a seat. That's interesting. Deep in the second set, and Kim is sitting down, his best setter. In fact, the Grand Prix best setter.
Well, that shows you how defensive Korea has become. They need blockers in there.
And they're able to get the side out that time.
Chung again that time going cross court, completely evading the blocker set up on that left-hand side. One of them, the one on the far left, tried to slide over, but not before Chung made her hit.
Kang Mi-sun is the new setter for Korea, who's serving down by 3 at 9-12. That'll be Godina on the reverse set. No stopping her. That was a textbook set from Gracheva, and Godina ate it up.
Oh, she did. She got it right in her power alley, right in the middle of her body, and able to turn it.
A touch shot, and that fooled Russia. Interesting that they're still buying it on the short ball.
Well, they get into a rhythm. They think everything's going to be power. Just because it is with them, it's going to be with the other team, too. And Korea would be wise to mix things up like they're doing now.
Ball goes straight up. And a shot from Baktuk Tina. It's probably the 3rd option for the Russians on offense, but she's quietly effective.
Oh, she is. And she can slide left or right. Particularly effective in the middle.
So Korea facing the set point, and that ball drifting outside, so a side out results.
Moving their line up a little bit, hoping to catch the ball before it can get buried.
Check that. That was 13-9. Now Russia is serving at 14-9. Korea works the side out. Koo Min-jung. It's almost like Russia is testing the bench player Koo.
Yeah, they're going after her. And both teams playing attack line volleyball right now. In other words, they're all huddled around that attack line, not keeping too many people back. You see the girl in the back sneaking up. One lone receiver back for Russia as Artemanova buries it again. Interesting to get a look at that. We don't see it too often, but we like to see the backcourt play sometimes. And that time you saw Russia just move everybody up. They had one lone receiver, or a retriever, actually what they're called, staying in the backcourt.
And with Korea down by 5 here, Russia is able to have the luxury of only one person in the backcourt. Korea keeps it going here. How about Russia digging it out in poor position on the spike? That's Kim Nam-soon from well back. Godina from behind the attack line. No team ever able to get a clean spike. And a touch shot still alive. This will be Artemanova, and she finally ends a marathon point. Artemanova on a tight angle takes it, and Russia now up 2-0, 15-8 and 15-9. They lead it back with set 3 after this. Russia taking the first 2 sets, 8 and 9 over Korea. Korea really hasn't played badly here, Chuck, in the last match of the Taipei pool, but the power of Russia increasingly coming to the fore here.
Yeah, I mean, that's Russia's known for that. The solid veteran team. As a matter of fact, they also play for the same club team. You know, so much experience. And Korea putting up a valiant fight. They're digging very well. They're trying to mix things up. But like you say, it's the cross-court power, especially the 2 girls, number 6, number 8, Artemanova and Gadina.
Along with back to Tina, who at times has spiked very well for the Russians. Chang So-yun. We're going to have to see a little more of Chang. She has been quiet. She's currently the top scorer in the Grand Prix, and I have a feeling that will change after this match.
Certainly will. I mean, I haven't bothered to count. The kills are just too far. Way too many for me to count. But Gadina and Artemanova just sharing the spoils here.
There is a very poor serve from Tichenko, the 22-year-old.
You know, what a lot of people don't realize, Gadina is only 19 years old. Artemanova is only 22. So, you know, although Russia does have a lot of veterans, they surround themselves with quality young players.
Korea did get a hand on it to keep it going. Three women inside the attack line for the Russians. And how about that Korean blocking? At times, they had been defensively very tight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a rare winner that time on the blocking. As we look at Chung. Yeah, I mean, they pulled together as a team. They're a young team, not particularly tall. They come from all parts of Korea, playing for the different teams. So a lot of minuses that are in favor of Russia, but Korea hanging in there.
Russia digs it out, and then the net violation is called. I think they got back to Tina on it.
Yeah, they did. Trying to guard the net a little bit too closely. Look at how close those blockers are. They love to hug the net.
Back to Tina with her body into the net that time. Pracheva pushes it over for Artemanova, who just missed wide.
Oh, that was a tough angle that time. I don't think she needed to go that fine with it. She could have hit the line. She could have gone down the middle.
Again, Artemanova, but she goes right back at it, taking it cross court, so live or die by it.
Now, see, the Koreans know where she's going to go. That time they had 4 girls around that area. Just nothing they could do with it.
Going off the net, that's well played. Quickly over, heads-up play from back to Tina, and that catches inside Koo Min-jung.
Smart play by Koo Min-jung that time to find that left side. Up she goes, hitting left around the left side of the blockers. Nice play.
Gracheva, once again, Artemanova on the left.
They're staying on the left. They're staying on the left. You know, and not much Korea can do about it.
And when you think about the great spikers here in the WVGP, Artemanova, Gadina, Mariah Louise for Cuba, even Chung Sun-hee, what sets them apart is the opposite team knows where the ball is going, but they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's you know, that's how intimidating these girls are. And then it becomes a mind thing also.
Gracheva getting a little practice there with Artemanova, really just teeing it up for her.
Well, it's almost as if they're wanting to wrap up this set and get out of here, and they're going to go to their guns every time. It's the confidence they have.
Artemanova, quick spike serve, and look at that, no one in position, and 5 Korean women are looking at Chung Si-hee.
Well, not much anybody could have done with that. I mean, when it's coming that quick, it's almost like a spike from behind. A spike serve that's coming just as fast as it would be if it was in front of the attack line.
And as spike servers are wanting to do, a ball into the net. Korea still on top, 3-1. Russia forced to scramble. I think now they're going to Artemanova once too often. Korea easily into position this time.
Yeah, and as we see it here, right back at you. And see what happens if you keep going to one girl and she's the only one that's getting any action. What happens is the other players standing around looking have a tendency to get cold. So they're going to need to involve the whole team in this attempt to win.
Superb defense from the Koreans. They got a ball over for Kim Nam-soon, who took it down from behind the attack line for a kill.
And they're working hard. Korean, you can see it etched on their face. They're working really hard, trying everything that they know how. They're a proud team. They're undefeated as well.
This is Godina tight to the net. Kong swings into position from the backcourt. They reject Chung Si-hee. So now all facets of the game working for the Russians.
And a substitution here, going to get Chung out of there, give her a little bit of a breather. Bring her back in a little bit later.
Jung into the game. She has struggled throughout most of this match. That's Chang. Rejected. And I think Fezer is saying that ball last touch Chang before heading out.
Yeah, and she knows it.
Jung, but a good dig in the backcourt from Menchova. And then Godina swings it around on the way down.
That's one thing that people don't give Russia enough credit for. They do dig very, very well. It's been evidenced today. You know, the ball has to get up close to that net somehow.
Once again, Godina, but this time on a defensive stop against Kim Nam-soon. And that's 3 points in a row now for Russia.
And then on the other hand, people are slow to realize that Koreans are very good blockers.
4 women inside the attack line. They'll get to that touch. Back to Tina, winning a battle at the net with Jung. And I think that right ankle really bothering Jung. So that's 4 in a row. Russia on top, 5-4. We step away and return in a moment. $1,000 in prize money on the line today. The winner of the Taipei pool takes home $65,000 US. At the moment, it's looking like it's going to be the Russians. They would take their second pool, so that would be $130,000 in prize money. They continue to steamroll along on the backs of Godina and Artemanova.
On that left-hand side, they're camped there. Set up a 10 or something.
Gracheva, the setter, to serve. It's now a 5-point run for the Russians. Kim Nam-soon gives a free ball to the Russians, who turn it around. The touch shot. And back to Tina. Could see right away Korea was setting up to defend a spike.
Yeah, they were looking for the spike from cross court again. They thought the ball was going to go way over to the left side. And back to Tina smartly just twirls it off her hand on the right, catches the line.
So Korea down by 4 on a timeout. Now this is Korea's last pool. Korea was scheduled to play the Jakarta pool, which was canceled due to extensive visa problems. So what the FIVB is planning to do is to take the 4 teams who are in the Jakarta pool at the conclusion of Gifu, Japan, that is the end of the regular pools in the Grand Prix. They will multiply their point totals by 1.5. Korea, even if they lose today, Chuck, would be 5-1. That would bode very well for the Koreans. But for the Russians, this would be their second pool win. And as they go into Gifu, they are really in good position for a shot at Kobe.
Yeah, and Korea in a great spot to be, too. I mean, it looks like we might have 2 Asian teams. Well, we certainly will have probably 2 Asian teams in the finals, which is great for Asian volleyball.
Another team on the bubble is China, who are done. They finished off in the Hong Kong pool. They are 3-3. Now Cuba currently 4-2. They do have the pool win. That was in Hong Kong. We'll have to see how Cuba does in Gifu. That really is the variable as we head into Gifu, Japan.
That's the key, and we could very well have 3 Asian teams in the finals.
Japan, of course, is the team that automatically qualifies as the host nation.
As we look at Chang there, finishing off that kill over double blocking, through double blocking to the left.
Japan will also play host to the 1998 World Championships. They will be the host of that. China and Korea have already qualified for the World Championships. One more Asian team will get in. Chinese Taipei and Thailand will play a home and away match. The winner of that is into the World Championships. The loser, interestingly enough, will take on the 6th placed Europe team. So hypothetically, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Asian teams going to the World Championships.
Russia doing a little bit of a dummy that time before Godina getting it, but the same result, hitting from that left side. Of course, Japan responsible for the boom in women's volleyball because of the 1964 Olympic team that thrilled the world not only with their play but their training techniques. Nobody had ever trained 6 to 8 hours a day before that Japanese team, and they electrified women's volleyball in a way, and they haven't looked back since. So it's only fitting that they become a big player when we get to these World Championships.
That was on their home court at the Tokyo Olympics. Japan also winning the gold medal at the 1976 games in Montreal. In fact, that Japanese team so unstoppable, only Korea was able to get into double points against the Japanese team. Gracheva back for Godina into the middle. You can see now Korea very sluggish on defense.
Yeah, they're getting tired of pulling themselves off the ground is what it is. Point after point after point.
Kuminjung a shot. Now Artemanova will load up on the left. You can see her backing up. Korea takes away the spike from her. Back to Tina, and again, she gets it past the Korean blocking.
Doing a good job back to Tina, painting that right side, Sean.
So back to Tina's shot makes it 10-6. Russia 5 points away from a win in the Taipei pool. Part of ESPN's continuing coverage of the Women's World Volleyball Grand Prix 1997. Last match of the Taipei pool. Russia and Korea coming into this both with 2-0 records in the Taipei pool. Russia has the 2-set lead, and they are cruising here. That is their 11th point of the 3rd set, now within 4 points of winning their 2nd pool of the Grand Prix.
Just pure frustration on the Koreans girls' faces here. And like you say, Sean, they have not played badly at all. In fact, I think they played very well. They get the touch there.
Kuminjung able to go in, the 2 Russian blockers. Russia has had some problems keeping those blocks inside the court.
They have a tendency to play too close to the net, and they've had a few net violations called on them. When they back up, the Korean girls able to hit it up against their bodies and make it fall down.
But really, these are minor criticisms. Russia continues to play flawlessly for the most part throughout the Grand Prix. That's Godina from behind the attack line. You can hear the Korean blocker get a hand on it, but that ball just explosive going across the net.
Yeah, here we go, even gaining in acceleration as it heads down towards the floor. As soon as she hit it, she looked away. She knew, Sean.
And there, Russia gets it going. Gracheva, now she's normally in for her setting abilities, but she teamed up with Morozova to knock that ball down.
Yeah, a relatively pint-size member of this team in comparison to the other is only 1.8 meters tall. 24-year-old.
Tight shot off the net. Gracheva, give credit to her getting the ball over for Artemanova, who missed wide, so that will be a side out. But look how tight Gracheva had to go. Her back really an inch off the net.
Winding up that time was Artemanova.
And actually, they gave that point to the Russians, so now make it 13-6, not as that graphic indicates. So Russia is still 2 points away. That's Artemanova, the dink shot. Russia keeps it going, and then the touch to finish it off. So now, match point resulting 14-6. Russia really blowing past the Koreans here. Back to Tina will serve. There's a touch to the net. So back it goes the way of Korea. But Russia here firmly in control. Yu Young-kyung will take a seat. There's Chung So-young. Korea has not seen enough of her today. This is Park Soo-jung serving.
Well, a little bit too nonchalant that time by the Russian team. That was number 12, Gracheva. She's going to catch it from Karpol. Back turn to the net. She tried a little dink. She couldn't even see what she was doing.
And that drops in. Kang Hee-mi turns around and celebrates.
Catching the Russian girl a little bit too far from the net that time. Artemanova again.
Gracheva pushes it over for Artemanova. And Korea really not able to get the handle on it at all.
Yeah, they would almost have to be diving for every one of these to even have a shot. And then what do you do once you get it up into the air? I mean, it's hopeless cause so far.
Match point number 2 for Russia. Turning it the other way, Chong So-yeon, and where was she for most of this match?
Gosh, turning sideways that time and able to slip the ball in between the blockers.
Koo-min Jung, who's getting ready to serve. So Jung will sit down.
Still looks like she's in a little bit of pain from that spill she took on her ankle, Sean. She hasn't been right the whole match.
Chung Si-hee into the game for Jung. Artemanova, another rocket. So she gets the side out quickly. Russia looking to close it out.
It's about the third opportunity that they've had.
The quick set. Artemanova digs to keep it going. This will be Godina. And a good defensive effort from Artemanova, working it over for Godina. And that finishes off the Koreans. Russia doing it in straight sets.
Just like a machine, a well-oiled machine behind the leadership of Karpol.
And Nikolai Karpol has his second pool win of the Grand Prix. We return with a wrap right after this.